I'm O.W. Root, and this is Pleasant Peninsula. The thermometer says it's 11 degrees, and I believe it. It's brisk. One of the hardest things about living in Michigan in the winter are the gray skies. It's not the temperature. It's not the snow. The snow can be beautiful. It's the gray skies. It's something that actually a lot of people comment on when they move here from maybe out east. They say it's not the snow. It's the gray skies that kills them. We miss that sun, and it is oppressive. It just, every day, it's gray, 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 gray. But when we get those sunny days, it's such a blessing. It feels like a shot of summer. And it's gray today, of course, but for the past couple of days, it was beautiful, brilliant sun, clear sky, that blue, just unbelievable contrast between blue and stark white. And it was so bright, you almost need sunglasses more than you do in the summer on the beach. It's such a radiant brightness, and it lifts the soul. It really does. You can get down in the winter when it's gray, 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 gray. But those days when the sky opens up and you look out and you see the glittering snow under that yellow sun, it's almost medicine, really. It's just enough to keep you going through the next week that will inevitably be gray. Harbor Springs is without a doubt one of the most beautiful towns in Michigan. Anybody who's been up north, who's visited Harbor Springs, even if just for a weekend, knows this. It feels like it was dreamed up by Norman Rockwell. But a lot of us think about Harbor Springs in the summer, and it makes sense. That's when people come up north. The sailboats, the waves, the sunsets. It's a lake town in the summer. But Harbor Springs isn't only beautiful in the summer. It's just as beautiful in the winter, around Christmas time. I was walking around Harbor Springs just this past week, and I was struck by the sublime beauty of the decorations. You know, we beautify our world. There's a lot of things we can't beautify. We can't change. We can't build mountains. We can't build lakes. But we do beautify our world. We build houses. We build streets. And then we decorate them. We decorate the insides of our homes and the outside of our homes. We plant flowers in the spring and summer. And then in the winter, we decorate with decorations around Christmas. And the decorations in Harbor Springs were beautiful. They were not laser lights shooting up against the garage, green, neon green, purple, and orange. No. They were beautiful wreaths, classic wreaths, warm lights in the night, in the frozen northern Michigan night. And right downtown in Harbor Springs, there's a huge Christmas tree on Main Street. And they don't close Main Street. This is the thing. They don't put a Christmas tree there for 2 days, and then they close it, and then no one can drive by. No, it's there for weeks, and people drive by. It's open. Main Street remains open with this big, beautiful Christmas tree right in the middle. And it's something that feels like it's from a movie. It feels like it's from an old classic film. It feels like something you'd read about. It's something that can only happen in a town like Harbor Springs. Harbor Springs has no stoplight. It's about 1,000 people who live there. It's truly a small town. Everyone knows everyone else. You couldn't have a tree like that in some big metropolis. Someone would run into it. Someone would not be watching, wouldn't know what to do, and they'd be confused. There's a tree downtown, but not in Harbor Springs. They know what to expect. It's a tradition. It's been going on 100 years. It's so beautiful. You know, you stand there on Main Street, and there's even homemade ornaments on the tree. Little kids made these homemade ornaments, and you can see the church in the background. I was standing there late at night. It's all dark, starry sky, warm yellow lights on the trees lining Main Street. This big, tall Christmas tree with the star at the top, the church in the background, ornaments made by children. A car passes by, just 2 feet away from the tree. They could reach out and grab it slowly, not 55 miles an hour, 10 miles per hour. There's a serene beauty there. It feels like something you'd want to read about. And none of this is particularly expensive. You know, the tree is a tree. And yeah, it's unique because you couldn't do it in a big town, but all of the other decorations I saw in town, the beautiful wreaths, the golden lights on the shrubs, the tasteful decorations, none of it is expensive. It's not about money. Decorating beautifully, making our world beautiful around this time of the year, around Christmas, doesn't require a fortune. It just requires taste, and it requires intention. It's a choice. We don't have to decorate with insane decorations. We can decorate with tasteful, beautiful decorations that remind us of a world that we want to live in, a world that maybe we've seen in film or a movie or a world that maybe we've read about in a book. We can make that world our world. It's our choice. And Harbor Springs chooses that world. So next I want to take a look at a reel from our Instagram. So let's roll that.
I am Michigan.
I am a land rich with history, where every beautiful spot has its own special place in time. I am remembrances. I am mementos. I am what was and what will be. I am Michigan, and I am 150 years old. Come see how I've changed, and how I haven't.
Yes, Michigan, the feeling's forever. Yes, Michigan.
So people went absolutely wild for that on Instagram. Tons of likes, tons of shares. People loved it. And so why did people love it? People loved it because of the nostalgia. Obviously, it reminds us of our childhoods or just the recent past. And we all love that, of course. But it's not just the memories. It's not just the nostalgia. It's also the quality. You know, these days, we have incredibly high quality video and audio. It's crystal clear, 4K, 1080p. You know, you can see a fly on the Empire State Building. And that's good, right? It is in a way, but there's something sterile about it. We feel there's something sterile about it. It's not really what we want. And we almost get sick of it, actually. You see people get tired of the extreme clarity. You do. You see people wanting that VHS, the tracking. Remember adjusting the tracking? What was the tracking? What were you doing when you were adjusting the tracking? Remember that? People like that. People like film photo. Why is film photography still around? Why do people love to look at those old photos that are not crystal clear, that are not, you can't zoom in and see a fly in the Empire State Building? No, they're much messier because they're human, because they're warm. I mean, this is what some of the 90s nostalgia is too. And that ad is 80s. It is not just the time and the memories. It's the warmer, imperfect quality. That's what people like. That's what we ache for, because it reminds us more of what we see and what we remember. You know, our memories, when you think about something from 5 years ago or 10 years ago. Just think about it. And it's not something that you can look up on your computer or your phone. It's something in your memory. You don't really remember it crystal clear like you would if you're looking at your iPhone. It's a little dreamy. It's a little messy. You feel it deeply, but it's not as crystal clear. That's what our memories are like. And that's what film photos, that's what VHS stuff, that's what camcorders, that approximates, or it gets closer to that dreamy feeling. It gets closer to that less perfect, less sterile, less clinical memory that is 4K, that is perfectly crisp audio, that is AI. It's inhuman. We ache for and we long for the imperfect memory. And that's what that video, that ad, reminds us of. I'm O.W. Root from Michigan Enjoyer.